All right. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Let me get this up. We'll go there. All right. Hopefully you guys can see that. If you are in the chat already, say what's up. Say good morning. I want to see who's here early. Let's do this. All right. Got that out to everyone. Perfect. All right. And we will see. Let me open Thinkorswim. So I have that ready. Let's see. Perfect. All right. Julio, good morning, man. Always hopping in so early, man. Appreciate it. SPY actually looks good for TLM. See what Qs can do. I don't like it as much for TLM. Do have nice little 30-minute down here, so keep an eye on that. Ryan, good morning. Philip, good morning. Good to see you. Ted, good morning. How are you, man? So I'll keep an eye on that. IWM. Looks like a 30-minute there. We have a nice little 15-minute here. I don't use 15s a ton, but could be something to look for. Tyrone, good morning. D Piper, good morning. Giuseppe, good morning. Mandy, good morning. How are you guys? All right. Excuse me. PLTR. Do we like this? I don't mind it. It's not my favorite thing, but potentially could be good for TLM. We'll have to see. Goog goes back up right to where it was. John, good morning. Dawson, good morning. For the people who kept up with Google yesterday, what an insane day. OpenAI releases a new browser. Everyone freaks out, and then 4 hours later, everyone realizes, hey, it's just Google Chrome with ChatGPT, and all of a sudden, Google's right back up again. Yeah, funny day yesterday for Google, but probably nothing day trading wise. Apple. So Apple will have a nice little 30-minute down here, right below 260. Doubt we get there today. Be very surprised if we do. That'll be about it. Amazon's opening a little lower, a little retrace from yesterday. Probably nothing day trading wise. We'll see if we work our way back up, but again, probably won't have anything for day trades. AMD had a good bounce yesterday off of demand. A little bit of a 45-minute demand zone here. Problem is we're probably going to open too far into that. And I don't really like it for TLM. So probably pass on AMD. Yeah, I just don't think we'll stay in there. We might. I could see us dipping below that demand. Even if we stay inside of it, I guess you could look for just like a break of a high in there. You know, we'll see. We'll see if we... I doubt we will. But we'll see. Matthew, good morning. Hope all is well with you too, man. NVIDIA, definitely a TLM candidate for sure. We will have to worry about a little 30-minute supply here. I'll have to keep an eye on that. But if we can get above the high, get a nice little retrace on that, would not mind. Hood gaps down into a demand here. See if we get a reaction off that. Meta. Again, could be decent for TLM. I don't love that gap down, kind of forces a little bit of supply up there. But if the market starts moving up, we get some good breaks to the upside, I would not mind it. Meta, probably nothing today. I'm going to be opening kind of near supply. Don't know if I want to mess with that. Coin, probably nothing. AVGO, another gap up, which leads to probably nothing for us today. TSM gaps down, unfortunately not into any sort of demand. Oracle also gaps down a little bit, not into demand. Pretty down few days for Oracle. Not loving that. MU. I don't really love this. I don't love that. Might be decent for TLM, but I'm not sure I like it that much. Tesla, again, has supply right in the middle of that TLM area. Could mark that out, see if a potential short comes up. Don't know if it will, though. At demand in here, bounced off of it yesterday at close. Don't love this move. We could look for it. A little bit of supply here too. Not a huge fan of that. Kind of bounced off it yesterday as well. I guess if we come up and break that high, could potentially look pretty good. Again, not my favorite move. Roblox, more bullish than anything, I believe. Yeah, a little more bullish. So I wouldn't want to play TLM shorts necessarily. Uber's going to have supply right in the middle of TLM. Not a huge fan of that. Walmart has supply right here. Looks like we might have didn't quite hit demand down here. Could look for Walmart shorts off that supply, but again, pretty bullish. Not a huge fan of that. SoFi. If you like TLM on SoFi, that could be a good move. Don't love day trading SoFi. HIMS gaps down again. Rough few days for HIMS. Shop. I don't love that. Almost kind of between two minds here. That is when I stay away. Let's see, Mara. Maybe off a demand down here. Again, not really the structure I want to see for TLM, so I'll probably pass on that. Boeing. Potential shorts here. Actually, we kind of have something like this. Bounce off demand there. Go up, break that high. We're kind of opening in that retrace area. That could be a nice little move. Let me look at... We've been a little more bearish about the past month, but overall we're still trending upwards. Yeah, I don't mind it. Don't mind it at all. Could be a good long play. Did Netflix have earnings yesterday? They dropped that much? I know their earnings were bad, but holy. It's almost $100 down. Wow. Wow. Okay. Probably staying away from that. All right. Well, we have a pretty decent watch list. What about AMD? I do have AMD on the secondary watch list. I'm not sure I love it for TLM, assuming this gap down holds. But we do have a nice little demand there. So if we get some push off of this demand, maybe some nice structure, like if we could open, kind of have that quick little pop out and start kind of that structure upwards, right? I would like it. Just about, are we going to do that? That's what I don't know. That is what I don't know. All right. Let me get this up. That's fine. Let me get this on. All right. And what we will do as well is get the watch list out. See this morning watch list. John posted his as well. See what John's looking at. John's got Walmart off a 30-minute demand. See that? Yep. Yeah, so if we could get down here, I would like it. Good thing about this open will actually create a decent high if we come down and break. So John, I like it, man. Bucks, not trading that. Also looking at MU. Yeah, MU is an interesting one. Let's take another peek at it. So with MU, obviously really good balance yesterday, which is good. Again, I'm just not a huge fan of this little supply we have in the middle here. That would be my only kind of gripe with this move. But let's throw it on the secondary. We'll keep an eye on it. Again, if the market is trending upwards, and we can see some other things kind of start pushing through, MU might be one of those ones that opens low enough to where if we are bullish in the morning, we actually can get a good entry on a TLM play here. Because obviously something like SPY is going to open a little higher. So even if SPY opens around 672, for example, if we kind of push up and are more bullish at open, it's not going to leave an opportunity for TLM, where something like MU might. So we'll keep it on there. We'll check it out. So I also had a little bit of a 45-minute demand there. We have that 30 down there. Qs might end up looking even better for TLM if we open this high as well. So I have to keep an eye on that. What I really need, and John knows this as well, I really need Amazon to get back on its high horse. That would be beautiful. I'm happy though that Gook's opening high again. I am happy about that. Did anyone try that Atlas browser? Curious if anyone did. The moment I looked at it, I was like, this is literally just Google Chrome. So didn't really have a need for it. But I think yesterday was a good, we've had, there's no reason Google should have sold off, $12 yesterday. But it did. Of course it recovers. Amazon's playing with us. It is, dude. Right when you think that breakout's starting, all of a sudden it's just gone, man. like we're very much into, we have kind of this like bearish wedge forming, and this was kind of the breakout you needed from it. And now we kind of sell off again, which is to be expected. You don't really expect things to just shoot up. I mean, even look back here, right? Like we have some big moves in here that come up, right? Instant big move, retrace all the way back, right? And the next day we gap up, retrace back. I think this is going to happen even at the start of sort of a breakout. But you got to be patient with it. We'll see where it goes. Hopefully we can just keep going up. That's the plan. But we will see. All I know is I don't want to see like 214, 212 again. That is not good. Apple's been so good recently. Hit 265 yesterday. It's crazy. I really should go through this more often and clear off some of these. I have some like old drawings on this higher time frame chart. I just need to get away from that. Coin balance was so fun. I don't trade balance a lot, but when I do, I love it. Just kind of curious if we had anything, any sort of major supply demand area. Wonder if HIMS works its way back into that balance. I know someone was looking at that. I don't know who that was. I know random, but have you ever had an issue with your alerts on TradingView not showing up on charts? Sometimes if that happens, like if you set it and it just doesn't like pop up, I end up just setting a second one, and that one usually shows up. I have had times where I set one up, it doesn't show up. I set up another one in the same place, and then next time I open TradingView, there's 2 alerts. But I think especially sometimes if you do it in the morning, on like one of those days where TradingView is like slow for no reason, it can happen then. So that's probably part of the issue there. More than likely. But yes, that has happened to me. Yeah, if anyone's looking at anything else, please let me know. And I will take a peek at it. Where they're all gone. Oh, like you set them up, they were there, and then when you open up TradingView, they're gone? Is that what you mean? Because I haven't had that. That's weird. It's almost like it's almost as if like your chart reset. I don't know if your drawings and stuff are still on there or not. That's kind of what it sounds like. But that is weird. Very, very weird. All right. We got Meta's opening at 734. Was Meta opening at 734 when I put this on here? Can't imagine it was. I think that went up a bit. Looking at QBTS. QBTS. Quantum. Oh, Lord. Quantum. You do have a nice little demand down here. 50. Could look for a decent move off that. So be careful. Huma. $1.73. What are you looking for? I need to know what you're looking for exactly. chart looks awful, by the way. It's a very scary chart. Well, even health technology. Interesting. Yeah, this is not a good chart to look at. Miles, good morning, man. How are you? How are you doing? All right. Let's make sure. I swear Meta was opening at like 7:32. Am I crazy? Let's just shoot up $2. Walmart's opening a little higher than I would prefer. It's really our only move there. I don't think I really like anything else in terms of the big boy stocks. Roblox is very interesting if you like shorts. It's actually a decent setup. The more I look at it, a little 30-minute supply there. See if that pushes it down. I don't know. I haven't been liking shorts recently. I know we've had a few days where we kind of dumped down, especially in the morning, but just has not really been my thing. Not that shorts are really ever my thing, but I've asked some already. Want to get rid of it? When did you buy it? And also, why did you buy it? Just kind of curious. Hopefully you don't say like, I saw it on Twitter and bought it. That's like the worst thing. I mean, it's coming from someone who has a lot of investments that people talk about on Twitter, but luckily I buy into a lot of them before they start getting talked about a lot. McDonald's, he asked about. I assume you're asking TLM wise. I do like it. It's got good consolidation yesterday. I'm just not a huge fan of day trading McDonald's, to be honest. Just doesn't really has a low volume. Doesn't really move fast enough for me. But TLM, you have to remember one of the things with TLM we really like to see is high volume. So not having that always makes me a little hesitant. Matt Clark, good morning, man. Good to see you. How's your trading been? How has it been? Makes sense, still learning. Good. Having success with DAL and CAT. You've been buying and selling CAT since like, God, I can't, so long. It's good you're still having success with it though. The thing, a lot of people have success with a stock and then they just stop trading it. Like if you understand how to trade a stock and it works well, keep doing it, man. Goof filled the gap, but can it continue? I think it will, Alex. I think yesterday and that's why it can be scary sometimes, but those are happening so fast. Like Google had no reason to sell off, because the moment that people looked into it, like the OpenAI stuff, everyone realized it was kind of crap and just bought back Google. I own it long term, so it's fun to do deeper dives on it and work with it short and long. Yeah, I have it long term as well. I've had it for years, man. Cat, Apple, and McDonald's were like 3 of the stocks that I first invested in. Yeah, I've had them probably since I was like 10 years old, and my grandma let me pick stocks that I wanted to buy, and little 10-year-old me was like, I go to McDonald's a lot. And my grandpa owned a construction company, so I like Caterpillar. And then Apple was just because my grandma was invested in it. So products you use every day, right? Yeah, that's my thing. That's exactly it. That's why I'm invested in Nvidia, for example. I use their graphics cards. That's why I'm invested in Google, because I use Google every day. I'm invested in Amazon. I use Amazon all the time. That's what you do, man. Greed Plus is battle 257 says 16th has to break sooner or later. Yeah, for sure. And I think there's a lot of people that think the bears are going to show up, like the bull market's done. And in my opinion, especially going into the end of the year, I feel like the bull market's just kind of started. I don't really know if we'll see another big pullback. I'm not talking, the like 1.7% we saw in one day. I think that was a nice correction we needed, but I don't know when we'll see the next pullback, but I'd be very surprised if it's before the end of the year. Again, I have to say this, that is not financial advice. That does not mean go buy everything. But I would be very surprised. Do you only do TLM trades? No, I do TLM, supply and demand. I do swing trading as well, using supply and demand, or just, undervalued stocks, things like that. Santa rally, yeah, it happens, man. That is interesting. I think a lot of people overlook that. But like, if you just kind of go back in history, and you'll kind of find that every single like January, we end up higher than we were towards the end of the year. It's just kind of something that happens. You look at 2023, right? This one started early in October, and then December came through. We kept pushing up. 2022, same thing, right? We had a big pullback at the beginning of December, and then rallied right back up above where we were in November. 2021 December rally, like, stuff just happens, man. It really does. All right, market is open. So SPY opens probably a little higher than I wanted it to. Ultimately, not the end of the world. PLTR opens pretty high as well. Was I looking at PLTR for shorts? I can't imagine I was. I think it's open a little higher. Honestly, I really wouldn't be opposed to shorts on PLTR. Nvidia moving down. I don't believe Nvidia has. So we have a little 15-minute demand there. Nothing really on any of the higher time frames. So I guess if we come down to this 15-minute, we could look for a reaction. Even if we don't, we really just want to see like a break of this 181.60. That'd be the main thing we're looking for. Meta pushes down quite a bit. Not a huge fan of that. Huh. A very odd move. 15-minute supply maybe is what's causing that. Can't imagine that is. Qs drops all the way down into our demand down there. IWM with a really nice reaction off demand on the flip side. Yeah, I like IWM. I'm a fan of that. Hood doesn't quite hit that demand. Boeing has really good structure towards the end of the day yesterday. These ones are always just tough getting in because you're kind of starting that. If you're in that retrace area, you're starting more bearish for the day. So it's very possible this low could break. That's why I always kind of wait on those. AMD a pretty dead open. Nothing really going on there. MU pushes down a little bit. Nothing really bounced off of, but we are bouncing. Let's see what that does. It's going to be hard to get a stop there. Visa just, off a cliff. You do have an interesting play here on Visa. Again, assuming you like shorts. Bounce from supply, you break down there. You don't really have, you kind of have demand here. Maybe that drop is a little too much. Maybe it might just be a little too much. PLTR moving down. Again, I'm not super opposed to shorts on PLTR, actually. Not super opposed to that. Nvidia moves down to demand, it looks like. Meta's kind of just in the middle. I don't think there's going to be anything there I really like. Yeah, probably not. We got Q's is dropping. Hood is going to, well, it already did break through that demand. Looks like we will have another demand, probably a stronger one here on the 1 hour. We just don't really have a high to break, which is going to be the main issue. Walmart moving down, AMD moving down as well. This is what I was a little bit worried about with AMD. Again, a little 15-minute here. So maybe we get a reaction off that. But I don't know, we'll have to see. MU struggling a little bit to get back up. Visa, like I said, I think Visa just went too low for me. Okay, so SPY comes down to that 30-minute demand here. So we could look for a reaction. Again, we're kind of lacking a high to break, which I don't love. Okay, PLTR just really fell off. Wasn't really an opportunity for that at all. Not really going to have any sort of demand zone to bounce off of. So we're probably say we're done with PLTR. Kind of stop hunting that supply and push back down. Yeah, not a huge fan of that. Let's see. Make sure this is open. It is. All right. Nvidia. Looks like we might be getting a bit of a reaction off of that demand. That could be good. Again, kind of just lack a high to break. We really have to like break this and then retrace back down. It's probably what I'd be looking for the most. And supply might just cause us some issues. I'll have to wait though. Q's drops below demand, which is scary because we really don't have anything else keeping us up. IWM good reaction off demand. Probably a little more hesitant on this. One, because it's a 15-minute, but two, because we do bounce right off of that gap, which I don't love. Especially with everything kind of trending downwards. So Boeing actually ends up moving well. Yeah, with everything kind of trending how it is, I'd be very hesitant on IWM. I think I'd almost rather see a new low form and then come up and break that high, to be honest. I think I'd rather see that. AMD's very choppy. MU's pushing up well. Again, hesitant on any longs here with what Q and SPY are doing. Also considering MU has a little bit of supply in there. Don't love that. Good reaction on NVIDIA though. Very good reaction. See if that holds up. Get a good candle close on the 5-minute. Looks pretty promising. IWM, looks like we do bounce off that retrace level nicely. Hood is in the dumps, man. Absolutely in the dumps. Maybe have a little 45 there. Nothing I'm super interested in though. I don't really think I would enter Boeing, just to be honest. It was an interesting idea, but yeah, MU's kind of chop city right now. Not really what you want to see. Again, we also tap that supply and kind of push off of it. VISA working its way back up. SPY looks like it's getting a good reaction off demand. Doesn't look like we'll get a good candle close here in NVIDIA. That is not promising. Tried Bob along. Not sure if I'm doing it right, but it seemed okay. Tried Bob along. I haven't traded Bob in so long, man. I mean, you're up. 15-minute demand. Assume you're using like this as your break. This kind of wick and then the retrace entry. I don't hate it. The trade I would take, and probably not, but I do not hate it. Really good reaction for SPY there. Right off that demand. NVIDIA actually ends up closing pretty well. It's interesting now. SPY and Q's kind of ripped up. Meanwhile, IWM now continues to push down. It's very interesting. Video working up. That's good. Again, I want to see this high break and then we start that retrace. That's what I want to see. If we get that, great. If we don't, then we'll likely push lower. But we will have to see. Yeah, wow. IWM pushes straight down. Again, right off of the supply from the gap down. So I really don't mind shorts there at all. Still need some sort of retrace, but do not mind it. This might be another one of those days. It might be. Looking IWM short if we get a retrace. I do as well, man. I really do. Really, really do. I do have to see. Let's see. That is a lot of contracts. That would be. Jeez. Okay. We'll see if we get that retrace. We might just end up only getting the break as an entry point, which would be a little unfortunate. A little bit unfortunate if that's the case. MU showing good structure here. We need to pull back on it, but I don't think. Shouldn't say that. I don't know if we'll get it. I wouldn't even mind something like here. If it came back. I don't think it will. Do not think it will. Okay, NVIDIA breaks the high. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Is it going to go hit supply, though? Looks like it might. Which would be unfortunate. Yeah, looks like we might go up to supply there. Let's see. Yeah, we need a pretty serious retrace on that. I think honestly, I'd probably prefer IWM shorts just with how it's looking. Let's see. Probably something like that, if I had to guess. Off of there. Only worry here is the market going to start pushing up? Let's find cues in specific. So NVIDIA goes up, hits supply. It's going to make it really tough to find an entry at this point. Very tough. Walmart also retraced nicely to 30-minute break of structure will be tough. Yeah. Yeah, you really need like a break all the way up here or something if you're going to get it, right? All right, this is my plan with IWM. I am going to wait and see what sort of move we get here. And see what happens. Solid little rejection. Quite solid. Yeah, good move. Good move. What can we use as target here. I don't love that double bottom, to be honest. Maybe target in that area. Could work well. Two-minute is all over the place. Up and down, up and down, up and down. It's a nice push. Nice push. Yeah. Walmart just doesn't give you that break, right? That's the issue here. Retrace is coming in pretty high as well. AMD is in such a weird spot. It does look like it wants to get back up, but it's very slow this morning. Very, very slow. Nice 2-minute, very good rejection there. I like that a lot. So let's see if that push continues. Let us see. SPY struggling. NVIDIA, right? This is exactly why we use supply zones as our target, right? That's exactly the kind of reaction you expect, and that's where you want to get out, because anything can happen at those other zones. Looks like it struggled just to get above that high of day so far. MU already went to the other side. No supply and demand play there. All good. If Visa didn't come down as much as it did, I really would like this for shorts, but we kind of hit just the top of that demand, which makes me not like it as much. SPY seems to be struggling a little bit. It's really good reaction off demand though, but it is struggling. See what that does. Okay, MD pushing up. This thing, we got to see. NVIDIA is obviously moving up really well. We already hit this supply as well, so we very easily could break through that. We're going to have another pretty major supply up here for NVIDIA. So that should be interesting once we actually get up there, what it does. Yeah, IWM seems very weak today. Very, very weak, which is nice. Unfortunately, just no real great time to get into NVIDIA there. Like, you could have gotten in on the reaction, maybe the close like that 5-minute, but it's not really my style of trading. I like to wait for those good breaks. AMD. Again, this makes me a little nervous if it's actually going to go up or not. But definitely does seem like it wants to. Seems like it wants to. SPY sort of rejecting that retrace, which is nice. Very good reaction off of demand as well. I'd feel pretty confident, to be honest. I'm not going to take them, but like, right, I'd honestly not. That's not me telling you to take it. It's just me talking. Yeah, so this is the thing to look for, right? QQQ pushing up pretty strong. SPY also had a really strong move. And then you look at IWM, right? Every single sort of push up we're getting is just kind of rejecting. Especially these last two candles, like those are super weak. Super weak. So I still feel good about this. Nvidia goes up, bursts through that supply. Absolutely burst through it. I would still honestly like Nvidia longs if we came back. I really would. I'd still be a fan of it. This point is just going to be about, are we going to come back or not? Walmart makes a new low. I think Walmart's probably a little dead for today. The vision was there, just couldn't quite fulfill what we wanted it to. IWM kind of playing around a little bit. See if that comes back down. SPY looks like it's going to keep going. Yeah, well, I'm very interested to see what that does the rest of the day. No trade day for you. I don't blame you, man. I do not blame you. Did you not take IWM? Thought for sure you would have. Or did you not take it just because the market's a little more, looks like it's turning a little more bullish all of a sudden? If that's your reason, can't argue with it. But I still think IWM itself looks very weak. I do. But we will see what it does. Nvidia is just as strong as anything right now. This thing is flying. Absolutely flying. Wow, just hasn't stopped. Crazy, man. Crazy. About to hit another supply. I was watching MU, had a great reaction 4 hours, just never looked back. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of just flew. Kind of just flew. A little bit of a sell-off there. You see, IWM is just, it's not reacting to any of these pushes that we're getting. But then the market sells off a little bit and it really reacts to it. Just showing a lot of signs of weakness. A lot of signs of weakness. GOO kind of rejecting that 257 area again. Not the most surprising thing in the world. PLTR had a good reaction off that 15-minute as well. Really good reaction. Apple came back down to the 260. Amazon's chopping around. Hood had a little pop. Meta popped big time. Wow. Microsoft continued up. Coin continued down. AVGO down as well. TSM recovered. Oracle up a little bit. MU just never quite looked back. Tesla shorts look like they're actually pretty good today. And I'll move off that. Break to the downside. Nice trace, push down lower. Yeah, they actually, it's very good. Maybe that was a missed opportunity. SPY staying within those levels pretty well. Could definitely see that continuing. Could definitely see that. You almost have like enough acceptance here to where like even something like that could be pretty crazy move. I wish we would have made another high here though. A bit unfortunate we don't. Q's kind of doing the same thing. Very interesting move. Seems like IWM's entering chop. It does seem like that, doesn't it? Yeah. The only, like I said, the only worry with IWM is just that the market itself is turning. And like it's pretty rare that if the market itself is pushing up that IWM's not going to. So you kind of want to be pretty careful with that. Pretty careful with that. Now the market pushes down for a second and IWM goes up. It's almost like they're clashing heads, kind of going against each other. AMD pushes back up. Like I said, it looks like it wanted to go make a new high, and it does. Now it's more about, will it stabilize there, or what is it going to do? Because I do like, I wouldn't even mind TLM here, to be honest. You just need quite a pullback. A pretty target to the other side as well. Yeah, like a 1.6 target. Yes, I have a 1.8 target. NVIDIA coming back down. NVIDIA retrace as well. Could be interesting. Yeah, IWM test at 50. Rejects it again. Not very surprised by that. It's going to be more of a supply and demand if that comes down. Yeah, I really wish SPY made a higher high here. That would have been a lot better. Don't like it right now just because of that. Q's looks like it's moving well. That'll be an interesting one. See if AMD comes back at all. Don't know if it will. Looks like it's kind of skyrocketing. Yeah, very choppy. Very choppy there. I guess SPY on the 1 hour just been choppy all week. Yeah. Yeah, just kind of stay within that range, huh? Accepting inside well, though. It is accepting inside well. Just have to see if that push continues. That's all we're looking for. IWM pushing back down once again. AMD and BAVA are moving. Took the BAVA, not AMD. Nice. Took IWM, but it's looking choppy. Yeah, no, I think it's gonna. It looks very weak, man. Very, very weak. While the rest of the market does not. So every little sell-off we're getting on the rest of the market, IWM is like doubling it. So look at that flush finally. That's what it's looking like. That is what it's looking like. Just have to see if we get down to that target. AMD coming back down. Still do like that. Let's see what that does. Okay, that would be fine. It's in our hands day. Yeah, I could see why you did, to be honest. Definitely not my favorite day of price action. So I would not blame you for that. What can we still look at here? 1.3. It comes back down. I just don't know if this is going to come all the way back down to where we would need it. That's the thing. WM. It's kind of a weird 2-minute candle close. Very, very weird. Yeah, AMD might just not work its way down. Might just not. IWM though. Is the flush starting? That's the question asked around the world. Is the flush starting? Nvidia is coming back down too. That could be good. Q's falling. IWM does it as well. Amazon just lazy won't profits, but I know, dude. It's so choppy today. I mean, you always kind of expect after a big day like that for it to be a little more choppy the next day, but the fact that it gapped down and then it's choppy is very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Now, what we don't want to see on IWM is we don't want to see this double bottom and start going back up. That's what I don't want to see. I want to see a nice break of that low into a new low. And then if it wants to retrace a little bit, it's fine. But we really want to see that break of that low and the flush down continue. That is what we want to see. Not a double bottom. Please. Please, please, please. SPY pushing back down a little bit as well. NVIDIA, where's that? Move that. It's right about there. This whole thing would kind of be your worry. just don't know if 1.2 is really worth it, to be honest, for how long that trade will probably take. And you want to talk about acceptance, though. SPY is just not, it does not want to stay outside of the TLM zone at all. This is like an insane amount of rejection. It's pretty wild. Pretty wild. I definitely like SPY more than I like Qs. IWM just barely makes me low. Enjoy your day, man. About IWM contracts, given IWM being hard to borrow. Don't know why. I've never had that. I don't know what broker you're on, but might just because it's volatile. I'll just be giving you a warning on that. On Thinkorswim. Interesting. I don't know. I use Thinkorswim too. I've never gotten that. Are you like using margin or something? It's the only thing I could think of why I would say that. IWM flushing. Love to see that. Yeah, I think we'll probably just let IWM work. At this point, after the break of the new low, there's no way I will let IWM be a loser. So I'll put my stop probably right above this previous high, and hope it just flushes down that extra, at this point, 30 cents we need it to. Which it might do before I even get through what I'm saying. So overall, though, if IWM hits, which it looks like it will, 1 for 1 on the day, pretty easy, straightforward trade. You take that. Yeah, you got the same message on IWM. I didn't get it, unless maybe I just didn't see it. That's weird. IWM with a short. Hey, that's what we like to see, man. Yeah, you could definitely exit now. I have my target a little lower. See if that gets hit. Hopefully it will. And yeah, we'll kind of go from there. But yeah, there it is. 1 for 1 on the day. So that's good. Just hit the OCO. Beautiful. So we take the 1 for 1. We keep pushing on and we go from there. I still like AMD. I really do. I'm still a fan of this. Will I take it now that I'm 1 for 1 on the day? Probably not. AMD just looks strong, man. It looks strong. But yeah, for Freedom Team guys, I will see you Friday. For everyone else, I'll see you next week. But yeah, hopefully you guys caught the trade, and I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully you enjoyed. Appreciate you.